Hello everyone, and welcome to Retro Brick Reviews, where today I am very excited to be bringing you official images of all of the Summer 2020 Wave 1 LEGO Harry Potter sets. Wave 1 because we do know of at least one more retail set that'll be coming later in the year, alongside an advent calendar, a direct-to-consumer, and a collectible minifigure series. But in this video, we'll be taking a look at all 6 of the sets that will be releasing on June 1st, 2020, all over the world. Except in the United States, where they're coming July 1st. Except for one of them, which is coming August 1st. It's a whole ordeal. Anyway, I should note before we begin that this video will not be the standard long-form analysis that you're probably used to if you've been watching my channel for a while. Rather, this is just going to be a much quicker look at all 6 sets in one video for people who don't have the time to watch a long analysis, or just people who don't want to hear me talk about a $20 set for 45 minutes. Degenerates. But in all seriousness, don't worry, the long-form analyses will be coming soon, but for right now, let's begin with set number 75966, the Hogwarts Room of Requirement. This set will include 193 pieces and retail for about $20. It features 3 complete LEGO minifigures, those being Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Luna Lovegood, as well as a partially brick-built Death Eater training dummy. Luna and the dummy get new face prints, and all 4 figures have exclusive torso prints to the set. So, all 4 figures are exclusive, which is nice, and you also get 2 new Patroni, those being Hermione's otter and Luna's hare. The main build is split up into 2 sections, the primary one having the door and some nice windows, albeit not a lot of floor space, and the section off to the right featuring a fireplace, and note the protruding 2x3 section in the middle, which is hinged. That's a button to activate a play feature we'll get to in a minute. On both sides of the set, you have some Technic pinholes, so this set will be compatible with all of the other modular Hogwarts sets. And off to the side, you get a small bulletin board build. Around the back, or well, I guess actually this would be the front, since what we saw in the front of the box was the interior of the room, so this is the exterior. Anyway, you can see that there is a section of wall you can use to cover up the door when the room of requirement isn't being needed by someone. And if you push in the aforementioned button, you can knock down some of Umbridge's educational decrees, which is a nice touch and a nice reference to the Order of the Phoenix movie, which this set is based on. Overall, this set definitely isn't the most exciting or unique thing in the world, but you get 4-ish really great minifigures, some great new pieces for those Patroni. The build itself is very cute and quaint, and yeah, I mean, the only real problem with it is, again, there really isn't any floor space at all, so if you want to be able to display this set, really the only option is to have like a shelf or a table, which I know is where most people display the sets, but if you're the kind of person who displays your sets mainly on carpet because you have a carpeted floor and that's where you put your sets, this one isn't very good for that. So you can't really, again, you can't really pose anyone around the set. Maybe you could fit like someone looking at the decrees, maybe someone coming through the door, but you'd be hard-pressed to fit 3 figures on the studs they give you, is what I'm saying. But aside from that, this is a good set, and I'm very excited to get my hands on it as soon as I can. That's a sentence you're going to be hearing a lot in this video. Next set, 75967, Forbidden Forest, Umbridge's Encounter. This 253-piece set will include 5 minifigures and retail for about $30. Those minifigures are Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, Dolores Umbridge, and a pair of centaurs. Of the figures, Harry is not exclusive, as he does appear in another set in this wave, and even if he was exclusive, none of the parts he's made up of are new to this wave, so yeah, he's not that interesting, but Hermione gets a new torso print, Umbridge gets a new face, torso and printed double-molded legs. And the centaurs get a brand new recolor of Dumbledore's hairpiece from the Great Hall, a new face print, a new torso print, and a new leg print. And to my knowledge, those two centaurs are a pair of identical figures, just with a double-sided face, and they have them showing the two different expressions. The main build is Grawp, who is a brick-built figure in the same style as Giant Man and the Giant Stone Warrior, and we really need to come up with a good name for these guys. I'm gonna go with Brick Figs. Is Brick Figs alright with you? I have no way of knowing. Comment down below if you're cool with the name Brick Figs. Alternatively, don't, since I think I'm just gonna go with it no matter what. Anyway, I think the blocky design works well for Grawp, but the little additions they've made, such as the ears and the belly, also help to show off that he's not really just an upsized person. He is a magical beast. The brick-built hair up top is very well done. It looks quite good. The face print, I think, is pretty accurate and also pretty cute. I don't know if cute's the right word, really, but it looks good, and yeah. The rest of the designs on his body, I don't know if those are going to be stickers or prints. But, like, if they're stickers, then I feel as though they could have been done a bit better. Like, I think the one with his collarbone and chest hair, that's pretty necessary, and I hope that's printed. But, like, the two on the sides of that, if they're stickers, I think you could do with leaving them off if you don't like stickers, because they don't really add much important detail, and if they're prints, I don't get how LEGO allocates prints, because that's kind of weird. And the ones on the legs, I think, are just not that good looking, but aside from that, he's a really well-built figure. You get a side build of a tree, which is pretty alright, and the main feature of the set, aside from getting an absolute lad, is that you can open up the tree and store things inside of there, such as Grawp's bike handle, which is his favorite toy. But yeah, there isn't that much else to say with this set. It's really just about that buildable figure and the minifigures that go with him, but the tree's a nice add-on as well, and this is another really great set. Really excited to get my hands on it July 1st, or preferably sooner, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. Yeah. The next set is set number 75968, number 4 Privet Drive. It includes 6 minifigures, those being Harry Potter, Ronald Weasley, Dobby, as well as Uncle Vernon, Aunt Petunia, and Dudley Dursley. It will include 797 pieces and cost about $70, and of the 6 minifigures, Harry and Ron have absolutely nothing new about them. In fact, Ron's the exact same figure from the Whomping Willow set. Harry is the same prince from that set, but with a different leg color, but Dobby gets a new headpiece print, and then Vernon, Petunia, and Dudley all get new face prints. Petunia gets a new hair color, to my knowledge, and Dudley and Petunia get new torso prints. The car is, I guess, a bit of an improvement over the one in the Whomping Willow, but it looks pretty much the same. Like, the hood's a bit different, the trunk's a bit different, but really I don't think it was necessary to include here, but I imagine LEGO did focus testing and found that kids really liked playing with the car with this set, so they included it because kids that don't have the Whomping Willow would want the car, so it's fine. The house itself, though, is a very good build. It seems to be not super thick, but thick enough. It looks to be range from 6 to 8 studs thick, depending on where you are, so that's good enough, in my opinion. The roof design is very well done. That looks very high quality, despite being very simply built. You have some piping going down one side of the house. You have a nice topiary. The door is stickered with a bunch of letters popping out of the mail slot, which is pretty cute. You have the sign for Privet Drive, complete with a return of the 2010 brown owl, which is a really cool thing to include in this set. And of course, up above the car, you can see that this set also includes the new Hedwig piece, where she is flying, and this is the first of these sets to include that, but certainly not the last. In fact, if we're counting the poly bag I talked about last week, the new Hedwig appears in 5 of the new sets, which is very impressive and very nice of LEGO to make her very common like that. For the build, you can see that you get 3 main rooms on the inside of the house. You have the sitting room with the fireplace that you can drop letters out of. You have the cupboard under the stairs, which if you look off to the left side, you can see that you can open up the wall on the house to get a bit of a better way to put Harry in there, which is good, since that is a very cramped area. And the stairs are maybe a little blocky, but it's not a huge issue. And then Harry's bedroom up top is also pretty nicely detailed. Although I will say that it is kind of funny how, like, the Dursleys don't seem particularly mean to LEGO in the Harry world now, do they? I mean, they gave him the entire 2nd floor and a third of the 1st floor. Forget Dudley, it's Harry that they're spoiling rotten. Dudley doesn't even get a room. But, I guess he does get the pudding, so that's nice. But yeah, this is a pretty good set, and again, I get why they included the car, and I get why they based it on Chamber of Secrets, but if I was the designer, and I didn't have to worry about making a set that was marketable to 9-year-olds... I'm pretty sure this set's 9 and up, actually, so that makes a lot of sense. But anyway, I would have preferred if we would have taken out the car, taken out Ron and Dobby, put in Aunt Marge, and maybe done a build on the side for the Dursleys' garage, since that wouldn't take up too many pieces. Yeah, I think that since I do hope that we get Aunt Marge at some point, but it's not seeming overly likely, since she's not in this set, but yeah. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm still very excited to get this because the build of the house is very nice. The 3 Dursley minifigures are great. Just the other figures and the car do definitely detract from this set for me. So, like, this is still a good set, don't get me wrong, but I feel as though of all the ones they've revealed, this is the one I'm least excited for. Which is more than a little ironic, considering that before these sets were revealed, this was the one that I was the most excited for. And this is still a really fantastic set. It just goes to show how absolutely fantastic all of the other ones are. And speaking of the other ones, set number 75969. Nice. The Hogwarts Astronomy Tower. This 971-piece set will include 8 minifigures and cost $100, and boy, is it sleek. But first, those 8 minifigures are Harry Potter with a new torso print, Hermione Granger with a new torso print and set of printed double-molded legs, Ron Weasley with a new torso, Professor Slughorn with a new torso and a new design for his hairpiece, where previously we've had this hairpiece with printed light gray on the sideburns. Now there's no printing. You can consider that an upgrade or a downgrade, however you feel. We get Draco with what I believe is a new hair color and a new torso print for Slytherin robes. However, his face print is just reused from a few sets last year. Neville, who gets a new face print and torso print, and the hairpiece he'll be getting in the upcoming CMF, but as for when this set releases, this will be its first appearance. Luna, who gets a new torso print and set of double-molded printed legs, and Lavender Brown, who gets a newly recolored hairpiece, a new torso print, and her face is another reuse, this time being Rey from Star Wars, which I don't really understand why they made that choice. But anyway, this build is just so good. Like, okay, so first off, I'm just going to say right out, this is by far the best minifigure scale Hogwarts castle LEGO has ever done. At least in terms of what it's trying to do. Like, I think if I had to pick my favorite minifigure scale single Hogwarts set, I might still go with the 2010 set, just because that set did so much. But, like, as for the new theme, definitely, like, this set blows the Great Hall and Clock Tower out of the water. Like, it is perfect. Like, we'll start on the left, where we have the Astronomy Tower itself, which is a 5-story structure. And, like, you have the little, like, you have the relatively squarish design. You have a really good use of different bricks. I don't think there are any of the textured mason bricks on the front of this, just some on the side, and that looks really good. Just having standard brick construction and a few stickers, that looks great. And, like, the little angles they have down at the bottom, the different windows. I mean, it's not, like, the most complex build ever, but it looks fantastic. The little extra thin tower we have coming off of the front looks better than how they did those in the $400 direct-to-consumer. They didn't have the Astronomy Tower in that set, but they did it on the Stonebridge Tower, is a very similar design, and this is an improvement on that. Then off to the side, on the right, you have the tower with the balcony and the Millennium Falcon cockpit piece that they've been using since 2018. For towers, I mean, the Millennium Falcon's had it a lot longer than that. But anyway, that looks great. Like, the main tower is amazing. Then you have the viaduct entrance, which I wasn't expecting to get in any sets outside of that direct-to-consumer, but that's really cool to get. And, like, it's very small compared to how it is in Universe. I mean, all of these things are, but, like, especially. But that's that it scales with the tower to really just create a sense of how tall the Astronomy Tower is. So that's nice. I really like that, honestly. And I'm glad that it's not super grand, because, again, we already got a super grand version in the direct-to-consumer. So, yeah, I'm good with this. It looks very nice. Again, it looks just very sleek. With, like, the towers at the top, more sand green. This set has a lot more sand green in it than the other castle sets. And then the greenhouse on the side is, again, pretty simple, but it looks very nice. And you also get a chocolate fountain, so that's good. For the interior, we have a lot of rooms. Most of them even have stuff in them, so that's a plus. On the left, we have the greenhouse, which pretty much just has a table with some potted mandrakes, which I imagine are not going to have any printing, but that's nice. Then in the center, the viaduct entrance has essentially another potions classroom. This is our third one, but I think this one looks pretty good. I still prefer the one we got in the Whomping Willow. That set has the best potions classroom, but this one's not bad. It's a close second, and we get a printed copy of Advanced Potion Making, which is nice. Although now that really does bring into question, like, the CMF Harry, the big thing with that is that the figure's kind of bland, but his accessory is the Advanced Potion Making book. And while that one's more detailed than this one, if they could do a printed book in the set, why didn't they just do that there, in here? Why not do the more accurate version in this set? That's weird. But anyway, I like that. Again, the chocolate fountain, which is adorable. Big fan of that. And then for the main tower itself, 5 floors. Bottom floor, it's an empty room. You get a broomstick. Now, above that, you have Umbridge's Slughorn's office, blah, including the poisoned bottle of mead, as well as an hourglass on the wall. Above that, you have the Ravenclaw common room / dormitory, because LEGO still doesn't know the difference, I guess. You did get a bookcase, though, as well as a gold candle, which has been very not common prior to this set, so that's good. And you also get a lime green book in there, and I'm curious to see if that has any printing on it, but even if it doesn't, I think this... No, this isn't the first time. We also had it in the Disney CMF series, never mind. But anyway, above that, we have the astronomy room with the gold and silver hoop thing. I have no idea what it's called. If you do, feel free to put it in the comments. As well as the balcony. And up at the very top, we have a room with a scroll and a telescope. So yeah, it has a pretty good interior, a stunning exterior, a set of mostly really good minifigs, and it's only $100. I mean, $100 is a lot, but like for everything you're getting here, I think that that's well worth the price. So yeah, this set is going to be a day one purchase, and I am super excited for it because it is just incredible. But there's still 2 more sets to talk about, the next one being set number 75979, Hedwig. And, oh boy. This is actually a pretty good set. It's just that the one angle they chose for the front of the box is really terrible. And I don't know who designed this box, but I don't know. I don't want to say they should get fired, but I'm saying that they should, like, not get that raise they've been wanting, because this is not a good box design at all. Like, seriously, if the head was just tilted a little bit more to the side so you could see both eyes, at least, it would look so much better, because this just looks creepy. But anyway, this 10+ set will include 630 pieces and just one minifigure, that being an exclusive Harry Potter, as well as the new Hedwig piece, who I forgot to mention will also appear in the Astronomy Tower. I just forgot to mention there. Anyway, though, the main build, she is holding the Hogwarts letter, which I'm hoping all of those designs are printed, but they'll probably be stickers, as well as will the base. I imagine that the only print is going to be for the eyes, which seem to have metallic gold. So that's nice, at least, even if she is a little horrifying looking from the angle they're showing, but obviously this is a flying Hedwig, which is an interesting choice, but it's because they wanted to have a play feature where if you turn the crank at the side, the wings will actually flap, and that's really cool. And I'm excited to see that in motion when I get this set. You can sort of see it from around the back here, where we have the wings flapping up, and that looks a lot better. If you see on the top, you can see where they're showing how you can move her head, and you can see both eyes, and yeah, that looks a lot better. It's just like the angle where you can only see one eye is just quite funky. You can also see you get a tiny little stand for your figures, so that's nice. But overall, I will say that this is a very interesting set. One that doesn't look perfect, but I'm very excited to pick it up because I want to build this, and I want to find a good way to display it. Because, like, just looking at everything we have here, looking at all the different angles and designs, this is something that is going to look a lot better than how they're presenting it on the box. And I, for one, am very excited to find the best way to display it. But yeah, so that's this set. And now there is just one more, and, okay, so a few months ago, I thought it was kind of weird when YouTuber Just Too Good decided to marry the Chinese New Year Temple Fair, because, like, come on, a Lego set can't be that good. But oh my god, this set is that good. I want to marry this set. This is the Attack on the Burrow, set number 75980, 1,047 pieces, so the largest set of the wave. It includes 8 minifigures, and it is perfect. Like, literally, this is a set where, like, the minifigures have some flaws. The name of the set is a bit weird. Like, I would have just called it The Burrow, since there isn't much attacking going on, aside from a couple of the figures. But the build itself is flawless. And I've always loved the 2010 Burrow, and it's been, like, one of my biggest regrets of all time was that I never got that set when it was available. I mean, biggest regrets in terms of Lego, I mean, but I don't really feel that anymore, because this set destroys that one. This is amazing. But anyway, those figures are Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Ginny Weasley, Molly Weasley, Arthur Weasley, Nymphadora Tonks, Bellatrix Lestrange, and Fenrir Greyback. And of those, Harry's the same figure from the Forbidden Forest. Ron has no new prints. His torso's from Hagrid's hut last year, and the rest of him is from the Astronomy Tower. Ginny has a new torso print, but her face is Claire's from the Jurassic World line, which is acceptable, I guess. Molly gets a new hairpiece, which is Kira's from the Solo movie in orange, which I'll get back to you on that one, because I'm not a huge fan of that. I think it would have been better to take the Year 1 to Hermione hairpiece from 2018 and recolor that. But anyway, but she actually uses Helga Hufflepuff's face from the Hogwarts Castle direct-to-consumer set, which is interesting, but definitely cool, and it works well. Arthur, who has a brand new face print and torso print. Nymphadora, who I believe has a new face print, since I haven't been able to match it up to any other figures, as well as a new torso print. Bellatrix Lestrange, who has a new torso print, but unfortunately uses Mantis's face from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 set, and Fenrir Greyback, who gets a brand new face print and torso print. And the set will also include Flying Hedwig and Perched Brown Owl. And just looking at this set from the front, like, this is beautiful. Like, at the bottom, you have, like, the roof. You have different angles. You have a bunch of stickers down on the ground floor for windows and woodwork, and I honestly don't mind the stickers in this case because they just look so good, and they just accentuate everything so much that I'm not even going to mind having to put them on. And hey, that's a reappearance of the 3 wide windows from the night bus, so that's cool. Then the second layer, you have the sort of the wooden scaffolding that's still there because it's just holding everything up. I mean, look at that. The top half of the house is just slanted. It doesn't even connect to the studs at the back. This thing looks like it's about to fall off at any given moment and shatter into like 400 pieces. This Lego set gives me anxiety, and it's incredible. Those are some awkward voice cracks. Why is my voice cracking? Anyway, but then like the third layer is... yeah, it's honestly not that interesting. But up top, you have, like, the 1x3 and 1x6 tiles used for the wood plating, and that's great. You have the window, the awning, the more roof up top. You have a chimney. I guess that is a minor thing, where you just have one chimney and then a littler one next to it. The Burrow is supposed to have 5 chimneys. The 2010 set had 3, and this set had 2. So I guess if you get both of them, you have the correct amount of chimneys. But anyway, that's enough about the exterior, because that's great. But where this set really shines is the interior, because you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rooms. You might not be able to see 7 right now, but there are 7. There's a hidden one. Anyway, at the bottom floor, you have the kitchen, where you have the clock, which is accurately done this time, unlike the 2010 set. You have the kitchen table with mismatched chairs. You have a sink. You have all sorts of yummies, including some egg and some waffle. You have some very wilted salad that Tonks is holding. And in case you can't tell, this set is not actually open at the back. Rather, it is open at the left side, which is a very interesting way of doing it, and something that I think looks really good and just works very well for how they designed the set. So yeah, the kitchen's good. Above that, you have Ginny's room. You can see it on the top left image, where you have her bed, a little mirror, a poster of, I want to say, the Weird Sisters is what that's of. Above that, you have 2 areas. You have a small section of the sitting room, complete with the self-knitting needles. And next to that, I believe, is supposed to be Fred and George's room. At least that's the vibe I get. Although it could be Molly and Arthur's room, but I think it just looks like Fred and George's to me. That's just the feeling I get. Above that, we have Ron's room, complete with a poster of the Chudley Cannons. I'm sure they'll win one of these leagues, Ron. And then up top, you have what is essentially just another balcony area, but it works. And if you look off to the right side, where you have the different images of stuff inside, the bottom right framed image shows that the Burrow can actually fold open in the front. Well, I guess in the side. And if you fold that open, you actually have another room, which is you have the sitting room, where you have some accessories that you can bring out of there. Plus, you have the flue fireplace, which can transform from standard to the magical green flames. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as though you can fit anyone inside of there, and even if you could, there's nowhere for them to go, because they just pop out in the kitchen, but... so I guess that's a bit of a letdown, but I prefer having a non-functional fireplace inside the house. Then now in 2010, they gave us a kind of functional fireplace, but it was disconnected. That was dumb. This is much improved from that. And yeah, this set's incredible. This is going to be a day one purchase for me, which is going to be difficult, since there's another $100 set that has to be a day one purchase. So I don't know how this is going to be managed, especially considering what's going on in the world right now. Don't exactly have a lot of extra pocket money, but I'll do my best to make it work. So, just to recap, the Room of Requirement is a great set, the Forbidden Forest is a great set, Privet Drive is a pretty good set, the Astronomy Tower is an astronomically fantastic set, Hedwig is a very interesting set, and the Burrow is a set that I want to marry because it is beautiful and perfect. But yeah, so that is pretty much all for this video. If you're interested in seeing the longer, more in-depth analysis videos coming very soon, make sure to stay tuned, and hey, subscribe if you want to. Or don't, you're all anyway, but yeah, so thank you all so much for watching this video, and I do hope to see you all in the next one, coming very soon. But for now, this is Retro Brick Reviews, signing off.